the first smaller topic we have is Venom. Venom 2 made 90, 90 million in 3 days. That is 20 million more than Shang-Chi made and 10 million more than Black Widow made in July. I'm going to pull this article coming from Variety, talking a little bit about it. You know, uh, that's amazing. And this is domestic box office, obviously. It sets a pandemic record. Um, I think it talks a little bit how it made more than its first one. It also made 13 million in Russia. Um, yeah, that's incredible. 62% of the ticket buyers were male and 55% were under the age of 25. That makes sense. Um, yeah, Venom's the first comic book adventure with Hardy at the helm opened to 80 million, and that was before a global health crisis. So it Venom 2 exceeded expectations
Yeah.
by a mile, and I don't know how it did it. I just don't know.
I
Alex and
hon-
I good.
I honestly want to tell you the truth. I think it was because of the post credit scene. I
I don't
think
think that was it.
I think it is. I think once people heard that it's MCU canon, people were just like, fine, now it's actually worth watching.
I think there's a multitude of reasons. I think people underestimate how much they like. Okay, so there's a couple of reasons. Obviously, without the end credit scene spoilers, Venom already has a relation to. Let's just talk about why this movie did better than Shang-Chi. This movie, Venom has a relation to Spider-Man. We know that just from comics. We know that just a basic person might know that.
Yep.
It's a comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
People love those. People eat those up. Tom Hardy,
Yep.
well-known A-list actor, played Bane and the Dark
Mm-hmm.
Knight trilogy, and which I
Woody.
totally forgot about. I remember how we said last week that Venom is his most iconic role. It might be Bane, but I think you could make an argument it's now
Yeah.
Venom.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson obviously is Carnage. Um, yeah, though, and people liked the first Venom, I guess, just general audiences. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the big reason. To compare that with Shang-Chi again, I think Shang-Chi is a better movie in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't have A-list actors. It wasn't a familiar comic book character,
And yeah,
and
it was also a comic book character that had lots of controversy surrounding it.
right, correct, and it was I don't want to say catered, but it was directed towards an audience that in more of the Asian Pacific markets. It wasn't it's not a lot of Asian Americans. Well, there are a lot of Asians in America, but it was more directed. Marvel wanted this movie to be a hit in the Asian Pacific markets to get that fan
Yeah.
base up because why not have more fans, more money, more projects. So that's the big reason why Shang-Chi happened. Obviously, Simu Liu was great, and it's a great addition to the MCU. But from a money and financial standpoint, that's a big reason why it happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I would agree. Probably after the movie released, when people heard it was MCU canon, when you heard rumors that Spider-Man was in it, you definitely went and saw it. So I
Oh
definitely
yeah.
think that contributed to it. Alex, you got anything to like add about why you think
Yeah.
Venom 2 did so well in the box office?
Oh, people heard there was a new Eminem song at the end. Bro, it bangs. It bangs. Both Venom Eminem songs are just so good.
Right.
One of them
Yeah.
was a TikTok trend audio, bro. Like you
Yes,
know that. I legit listen to the Let There Be Carnage credits music all the time. It's such a good song.
it is. Eminem makes bangers. I wish he would have made a song for Carnage where he just goes, Carnage,
Yeah,
Carnage.
it's just crazy how good those songs go.
It's so
So
funny. And then
yeah,
it's like just, it was a massive trend on TikTok, so everyone knew it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
but
I want to ask you. We've now had two Marvel movies recently come out. Both did really well. Shang-Chi did amazing in the box office. Venom is looking like it's going to do amazing as well in the box office. Does this give you hope for Eternals?
yes. It's a couple
Does
of
with me
things
too.
though. It's a couple of things. So this is the next question. What does this mean? What does 90 million mean for movies moving forward? So I think Eternals is going to do fine. I think it will make around the 70 to 90 mil. I think it'll probably make more than Shang-Chi. Maybe will make less than Venom. But I'm not sure. They haven't an A-list actor, Angelina Jolie, Chloe Zhao, Academy Oscar, whatever Oscar Emmy. I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm
It's the
pretty sure.
Oscars.
I think she's either an Oscar award winning or she's an Academy Award winning.
Yeah, Academy Award winning director. So that's definitely a draw, and it's a MCU movie, so people will go and watch it. So I think it will probably it'll be close with Shang-Chi. It'll be in that 70 to 90 mil ballpark. The really interesting one to me now is Spider-Man: No Way Home. Okay, we got a lot of things going for it. It had
Oh yeah, go ahead.
it had the most viewed trailer ever in 24 hours, more viewed than Avengers: Endgame, The Force Awakens. That's insane.
Infinity War.
Possibility of the 3 Spider-Man in one movie. A lot of people's childhoods.
With some very convincing leaks, by the way.
Right. And with the villains literally being in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's Spider-Man. Always been more popular than the MCU characters like Iron Man, even Captain America. Like Spider-Man's the most popular, arguably, comic book character of all time.
I would say Superman, but
I said arguably. You could probably Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man, right? That's the top 3. That's fair, right?
Which, if you think about it, is a very weird 3 to be the most popular.
Right, they're the most generic, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, no, you got like good guy who does good things. You got guy who wears black bat cowl and fights crime.
Who's rich?
Whose literal superpower is being rich.
And then you got stereotypical New York kid gets bitten by a spider and is wicked smart and is poor and has an aunt and his uncle always just dies.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Yeah, that's literally all you have to say is I'm going to describe a superhero and you're going to get the most basic description of people.
Right. And yeah, those are 2 big things that the movie has going for it. And it's in December. It's like Christmas time, so everybody wants to go see the big movie, right? You know?
But I also want to ask you about this. Hawkeye's coming out just around the same time. Do you think that could deter people from going? Getting too much Marvel? Oh, no. But getting too much Marvel too close to each other.
Sorry, Alex. I know you love the character of Hawkeye, but I think people might skip out on that over Spider-Man.
But another thing, Book of Boba Fett doesn't come out very soon after either. Do you think that could also? I don't know either, man.
I don't think that matters.
I think this. Okay, I think Spider-Man: No Way Home has the potential to make at least minimum $350 million. I don't think it reaches $1 billion. I don't see it happening.
I see it making $150 million opening weekend. 40 million more than Venom. If the Venom numbers are 90 million domestically for 3 days, I see no reason to believe that Spider-Man, I'd be a conservative, I think, can't make 150 million opening weekend, and I would not be surprised if this movie made $200 million opening weekend. Now, to put some perspective, Endgame made it's just an insane number. 330 million in its first 3 days. That's mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
Venom made 90 million.
Yeah.
You're telling me a Spider-Man movie with the 3 Spider-Man that's going to probably be marketed out of this world with the leaks and stuff that we already know, with how important it is to the MCU, with it being at Christmas time, you cannot tell me that this movie domestically, opening weekend, won't make at least 150 million, especially after how well Shang-Chi and Venom has done.
I'm thinking entirely
right.
350 million at the minimum.
I think that's too low.
But that's at the minimum. That's the lowest it could. I see it making.
I think it's gonna touch $1 billion.
I don't see it happening. I don't see it.
I think it'll be close, or it's gonna touch $1 billion. A lot depends on China, but I think it might touch $1 billion without China.
I think 100 million. I think 100 million, 500 million max.
Really?
I can't see it. We're middle of pandemic. We're about to go into flu season and whatnot. It's gonna get bad in like some states too. By the way, Ohio's one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Well, maybe there's obviously that aspect, and we're still in the midst of it. But um, eh, I just I'm seeing signs that people are going to the movie theater in October. I just don't see I just don't see how this it would be an absolute failure to me if that movie made less than 150 million opening weekend.
I
I
know.
do so I think that's going to be my conservative number. I think the actual number when we do our predictions for it, I'm probably going to say 175 to 200 million opening
I think
weekend.
I think my predictions are gonna change depending on how Eternals does.
Okay,
I think also like when we look at it, like Eternals is gonna be a banger movie. It has to be.
absolutely. It
With
looks like a banner
with,
movie.
with the runtime that movie has, just barely longer than Infinity War.
Hmm.
Um, it's crazy. Did we ever get a time stamp or time for Spider-Man: No Way Home?
It was rumored to be around 2.5 hours, which makes sense.
Yeah, it's a lot to put in that movie, but it's also a lot. Which, by the way, have you been seeing the new Eternals trailers that they're putting out?
Well, that's funny enough. So I guess we could segue off of our Venom topic, and we could transition to that. Eternals has started its marketed. I don't know if you've seen the ads and stuff, but
Yes, they're my favorite. I love them so much.
um,
Whoa,
so
he's the guy with the laser eyes and the cape. I don't wear a cape.
um, yeah, we see Fastos' family. Obviously, we get a lot more shots with Angelina Jolie's
Oh yeah.
Thena, and she's my new favorite. It was Icarus after those trailers, but
Nah, man.
the
After if anyone tries to tell me it was a Vision reference, actually, it was a Superman reference.
oh totally.
Laser eyes, cape. Who are you gonna go to first?
I
Vision.
think I think it would be really funny if that in this universe in like Marvel, like the the Saturday morning or Sunday morning comic book cartoons that they watch are DC characters
Mm-hmm.
that are fake. Um,
Look,
they
I'm
couldn't do it on TV, but
I'm
just
just
allude to
asking
them.
you. I'm just asking you. I asked you, I think, this last week. Do you think in the next 10 years we could ever get a Marvel DC movie crossover?
Never say never. I'm not sure that's in the works right now, but I'm just gonna say
How
never
much
say never.
how much do you think it would make if we how much do you think it would make? I'll ask you this in two parts. If this were to happen and in place of Spider-Man No Way Home, a DC and Marvel crossover in the pandemic, how much do you think that would make?
Probably
That
a billion.
that would be the movie that would make $1 billion.
But the
Now,
thing is it's I'm gonna say it's probably never gonna happen just because I don't think Disney and Warner Brothers would ever come to an agreement like
now hold
that.
on.
So
Let me also ask if this didn't happen in the pandemic, this happened just standard movie year, like 2018, for example. How much do you think?
closer to two Billies.
You think a DC and Marvel crossover would make way less than Avengers Endgame?
Probably.
Drew, what?
Yeah, I
This
just
this is literally arguably the two biggest franchises in history.
I can't even quantify it because I'm pretty sure it's never gonna happen. DC, Disney, and Warner Brothers, it's never gonna happen. I'm throwing it out. It's gone.
I mean, it probably won't happen, but it's a good thing to question.
Maybe, but it's never happening. Um, so Alex, I watched some of the marketing too. Again, I was really fascinated by Thena.
Mhm.
What is the speedster's name? I can't even think of it.
Kari.
Yes, cool. Speedsters in the MCU look a lot cooler than they do in DC, and they don't do the stupid
No,
slow motion thing.
stop it. No, they don't
I
look
don't need,
cooler.
bro. You want to see the Flash running in slow motion? That's so stupid.
No, you need to watch CW
No, I
early
do not
season,
care.
early season CW Flash running. Let's not talk about the later seasons. Let's not talk about those yet.
I don't need to see that. Yeah, sure. The DC, the
They
whatever
just they
CW is
look
fine,
cooler.
but
They
I'm talking
look
about the actual
cooler.
DC. I'm talking about the DCEU. I'm talking about the one that matters. Comparing it to
The
Marvel.
CW matters. What?
Right, but to that is like the Netflix shows of the MCU.
Come on now. No, it is much more. It is much better to see some cool lightning effects than some just like whoosh sound effects. Come
I'm
on,
talking
Drew.
about like not.
Aesthetics.
Anyways, I just Marvel speedsters look better than DCEU
No,
speedsters.
Quicksilver was not cool. None of them. None of their runs were cool.
Dude, I don't want to see a fast person run in slow motion. I'd
You
like to
don't
see
have
how
to,
how fast they are moving.
but
The only
it
one
doesn't
that's
look right.
the only slow motion that has been cool is Evan Peters and the X-Men.
When was that slow mo? Oh,
Do you
like
not?
when he's like walking around and everything's like happening really slow around him.
Yes.
That's just talking. That's literally just how fast he's moving. That he can literally just do a bunch of random stuff that
Right.
ends up blowing up.
Right. But it's slow mo to us.
I guess.
Right. Anyways, you've ruined my whole entire point because
What?
you couldn't
What?
understand. Never. I'm joking. But yeah,
What?
what did you think of the rest of the advertising?
I'm excited, and I cannot wait. Icarus,
That's
bro. If he's as good as he is in these trailers as he's in the movie, oh, he's gonna be fighting some people to be my favorite superhero.
really.
Yes, he's so funny. I love how he talks.
Do you think there's a possibility he could become a bad guy?
No,
You don't think so?
no, I don't think I'm sorry. I was convinced the one guy who does the mind control. I was convinced he was gonna be the villain of the movie, and then he wasn't. So
I think he could be like a antagonist or a pest in the side. Like he was like he mind controlled that village, but like the Eternals had to talk him out of it or something like that. Like
yeah,
how Wanda like mind controlled everyone, but like I
maybe.
gotta fix it. Which by the way, the
Which like
absurd that people still defend that character.
she was hurting Drew. Come on now.
Right, she was grieving.
Yeah. So let me
Giant
also
dude.
ask you this: a power question. Where do you think the Eternals rank in the power scale?
They're probably all at the very least top 10.
They have to be. They literally have to be.
Yeah, they do.
If literally none, if you think about it, they basically make up like the top 20.
Oh, easily.
Like if you think about it, if you take everybody who is not the Eternals, they literally are like how many people are in the Eternals? Like 10?
Yeah.
Like literally that's the top 10 right there. But who do you think is the most powerful of them all? We got Superman,
Icarus.
we got we got a matter warper.
Icarus.
Really? You think just because of his raw strength?
Yeah.
And
Think he
let me
flips them
also
all.
ask you this. Thor versus Icarus, who's winning? This is I'm talking peak Thor, by the way, peak God of Thunder. You can put him when he's on Asgard at the end of Ragnarok, or you can put him when he has Stormbreaker during the Battle of Wakanda.
This is close, isn't it?
Dude, I gotta say Icarus, bro. I gotta say Icarus.
I'm gonna say if the fight's on Asgard, I'm taking Thor, but everywhere else, I'm taking Icarus.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna put that under that circumstance too. If it's Thor on Asgard, like fully powered up, then Thor. That
Yeah,
man,
I totally agree.
that man was like just crazy on Asgard. But like if it's on Earth with like Stormbreaker, he's powerful, but he's not Icarus powerful.
Right.
Like we have to think this is like the Marvel edition of Superman.
Yeah, and I also think that the character Kinko, played by is it Kumail? Kumail? I don't know how to say it. The comedian,
Mhm.
funny. Kinko's just gonna be the funniest part of that movie, and I think the gentleman who plays Fastos is gonna be pretty funny. Which it's pretty
Yeah.
cool that Fastos is probably one of the more smarter MCU
Oh
characters,
yeah.
and I still wonder because they act like humans. Are they humans or are they robots? Because I'm
They,
thinking they're robots,
I think so too.
which I think sucks. Kind of. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the concept, but I'll see how it's executed.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
And I will say their costumes are.
Really? I don't like them.
You
I think
know,
I think this is the worst costume design movie.
I
And
just
and
like.
in the MCU, by the way.
I like simplistic. I like how they're
But
different. They're
I don't
weird.
I don't like the gold. I don't like the gold on like the blues and the whites. I think it looked like
Yeah.
I don't like it with the Eternals. I don't like it. I think Icarus looks like those like ab suits that some actors wear. It looks like he's wearing like a really big poofy one.
Yeah. Yeah, it